Ready? All right. Well, see what we're working with?
Yeah.
In the early 1960s, a controversial inventor named Andrija Puharich claimed he had built a machine that could facilitate communication with non-human intelligence. Decades later, one of the few surviving prototypes still exists. And for the first time, we brought it to a present-day researcher to find out what this mysterious device actually does. If you've never heard of Andrija Puharich, you're not alone. He was a physician, inventor, intelligence operative, paranormal researcher, and perhaps one of the strangest figures of the 20th century. Puharich spent decades investigating the boundaries of human consciousness. He worked with psychics, inventors, military personnel, and individuals who claimed contact with non-human intelligences. Throughout his life, he pursued the question of contact with entities outside this earth. And eventually, he believed he had built a machine that could help answer that question. Known as the TD100, or Transdermal 100, the device was developed by Puharich in the early 1960s. The origins of this device were surprisingly practical. Puharich and his medical partner had been working with patients suffering from nerve deafness when they made a remarkable discovery. By applying specific frequencies through the facial nerves, they could allow some patients to perceive sound without relying on the conventional hearing apparatus. In effect, deaf individuals were hearing sounds directly inside their heads. At the time, many regarded the breakthrough as a medical miracle. It was even on the front page of the New York Times in 1961. However, shortly after this discovery, all attention and research on this device seemed to go dark, and Puharich rarely spoke about it again. But more than a decade later, Puharich appears to have repurposed the TD100 for something far more controversial. Documents found in his archives suggest he was privately using the device with select psychic subjects, claiming it could enhance their ability to receive information from extraterrestrial intelligence. While the TD100's medical origins are well documented, almost nothing exists publicly about these later experiments. Who participated, how the device was used, and what Puharich believed was happening were all kept remarkably secret. So I figured the best approach was to bring the machine to someone capable of examining it from a modern perspective.
So when Greg gave me a call and said, hey, Adam, I've got the TD100, one of Puharich's original devices, I was really excited to be able to see it and play with it. Puharich had indicated that he was getting some anomalous consciousness effects, let's call it, with this device. And so we wanted to see if we could actually turn it on and reproduce some of those.
Well, this I was given from a friend of Andrea's who took it from his lab after he died in 1995. And I guess he took it and never really got around to doing anything with it, and it's been sitting on a shelf. Yeah. So that's it. Is that red button a power button?
It is, it turned on. It didn't blow up.
It's a good sign. So Puharich lectured many times about the TD100 and its application to hearing, but there's only one article in which he talked about kind of the strange stuff that was going on around this, and people are speculating about why that might be. There's a number of possible explanations. Okay, first of all, we should understand that this was a different time, right? Puharich is a trained scientist, and you don't necessarily want to be talking about like weird stuff in public, even though you might be interested about it back then, even today. It could also be that this dovetailed into other research that was being done that was classified.
As a side note, one recent connection immediately caught my attention. Appearing on Jesse Michaels' American Alchemy show, former Air Force intelligence specialist Dan Sherman described an alleged classified program in the 1990s involving communication with non-human intelligence. According to Sherman, he listened to carefully generated tones through specialized headphones and received information embedded within them.
In ELANT, we had a carrier wave, which was the power of the transmission. But then it was encoded. Encoded isn't the word, but I'll use that. Encoded. The information is encoded on that power wave. So our ability to communicate, talk, and think, that's a power wave. And then I put the IC ability as a different way to encode information on that power wave.
This is the exact same way Puharich claimed his TD100 device worked decades earlier.
We are working with Phyllis and John on the transdermal machine, the TD system, in order to increase their perception for language and nuances of sound so they can make the best use of their talents.
Well, we're seeing about a 1 megahertz signal, but that is very unlikely to be something that this system is supposed to be outputting in terms of something that could be perceived in the range of human hearing. Human hearing somewhere around 20 to 20,000 decibels, hertz rather. This is way beyond that, so I think it's just noise in the system. Well, that tells me that it might be a little damaged inside, although it's hard to say. It's until we can get these things to work, which might be affecting the equipment, I'd have a hard time believing that signals like that are the way that this thing is working, is supposed to be working, although it's possible. Usually when you're talking about oscillating signals that are affecting biology, you're talking about something that's kind of lower than that. Although it is possible that this is supposed to be producing signals that are that high. On the other hand, it could be that it was, that is kind of the range that this thing actually worked. We don't really know. It doesn't seem to be responding too much to the dials that I'm turning. So I need to get into the machine and make sure that it's behaving the way I think it's supposed to.
Like messing with it.
Yeah, and it's possible that there are signals that are really high that we're not even aware of, that this thing is using or somehow we're capable of receiving. Yeah, we don't know. We have modern equipment, and we have a new understanding of frequency and consciousness and the relationship between those two things. And we have a lot of people who are interested in the Puharich story and would like to see his work revivified. And so hopefully we can recreate some of his experiments, and if there's some interesting effects, we can share that with the world and get more people following the research trail that Puharich was on.